Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga. This is a nice short practice I've put together for you where we really look at opening the chest, elongating the spine and bringing a few bends in that involves engagement with the core. So I hope you enjoy it. As ever, listen to your body, only do what feels right for you today. And let's get started. So we'll start today lying down in whatever way works for you. As we begin to come into the present, setting aside everything that's going on in your life and in the world for the next 15 minutes or so. This is about you taking time out to connect your mind with your body through your breath. So just beginning to slow everything down. Start to focus on the breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Listening to the sound of your breath and staying present with your breath. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And taking your hands, let's just clasp them together and put them behind your head. And bending your knees, just allow them to flop over to the left. And turn your gaze to the right, trying to keep both shoulder blades connected with the mat. And just scanning your body here as you breathe, noticing any areas of tightness or tension, and thinking about directing your breath into that area. One more breath on this side. And bringing the feet through center, let's take them over to the right. And just turn your gaze to the left. And as you're breathing here, thinking about finding that space in the spine, starting to open up. Noticing how the chest here is open. And taking 2 more breaths. And allowing the feet to come to the center and rolling them over to the left again to come up to sitting. And if you have a block, now will be a good time to grab it and sit on it, because we can do a little bit of seated work here. So if you're on a block or if you're on the mat, just think about feeling into your seat bones, trying to have equal weight on both seat bones and allowing your spine to come straight up from the seated position, keeping those shoulders over the hips. Now let's take that right arm and just stretch it across, hooking the left arm over it, starting to give a nice stretch into the shoulder. Keeping that length in the spine, finding that space to move into. And one more breath. And allowing it to come down, let's just take that over to the other side. This side might feel a little different. Just notice that. If you feel any tightness or tension in the shoulders or the arms, breathe into that to help loosen it out. And one more breath here. And allowing it to come down, let's just take the right arm and reach it over. And really allowing that space to open on the right side of the ribs without letting this side collapse. So we want to almost pull this side up and over. So we're leaving a lot of space between our hip and our rib cage on that left side. 2 more breaths here. And straightening up, let's just take that over to the other side, keeping the chest nice and open and square. So we don't want to sacrifice deepness in the bend for closing the chest. Better to be straighter with the chest open. And again, breathing into this, finding length in the spine. Opening up that outside left-hand side. And at the same time, keeping that gap between the rib cage and the hip as wide as you can. And coming back to center, let's just lift up, let the left leg come out straight, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, and lifting up this right leg. Let's just begin to rock it a little bit, cradling the baby, and just starting to open up that hip. Keeping those shoulders over the hips so your spine is still nice and straight and tall. Good, and then finding stillness here. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then taking the toes of this right foot, we're going to just bend in the left foot and stretch out this right leg as far as it can go. So it's fine to have the knee bent if that's where your body is at today, or if your hamstrings are feeling nice and stretchy, you might want to open it out. And taking 2 more breaths. And just letting this right foot come to the floor, we're going to come onto the left knee. So we come up tall here again, remembering to keep those shoulders over hips, head over heart. So we've got a nice straight line going on in our spine. And let's raise that left arm up. Taking 2 more breaths here. Really finding that space in the breath. And now we're going to step this right leg over to the side. So we're really letting it open up, trying to get the foot down to the floor if you can. And just bring your arms out into a T. Again, finding that space, keeping the shoulders soft. And trying as best as possible to have the arms even. It's really hard to do when you don't have a mirror. 2 more breaths here. Remembering On that exhale, to lift that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. And let's just reach this right hand down to the floor and bring the left hand over. And it's fine if you need to have a bend in that right leg, that's absolutely fine. Whatever feels right for you. Just watching the head, it might want to flop forward. We want to keep it in a straight line. And then raising that right hand up onto the leg to come into the full gate pose, keeping the chest nice and open. 2 more breaths here. Really feeling into this pose, just trying to allow yourself to understand this pose, what it does to your body, where it feels the stretch, where it feels good, where it feels tight. And coming back up to straightness, we're going to take that over to the other side. So allowing the right leg to come out straight, let's just cradle this left-handed baby here, our left-footed baby. Just allowing it to move and then bringing it to stillness. Taking 2 more breaths, keeping those shoulders over the hips. Right toe pointing upwards towards the ceiling. 1 more breath. And then holding on to this foot, just draw that right leg in as we begin to open out this leg. Keep sitting up tall, keeping those shoulders over the hips, finding that space in the spine as you breathe. Bringing engagement into the core. And 1 more breath here. And then allowing the left foot to come to the floor as we come on to the right knee. And coming up tall here. So we've got a straight line from our knee to our hip, to our shoulder, to our ear. And let's raise that right arm up. Really finding the space here. This pose allows us to really move into that space of our spine. And 2 more breaths. And then moving this foot over to the side and beginning to stretch into it. And you may find this side different to the right side. Just noticing how you feel, how that whole right side of your body feels. Can you keep that core engaged? Can you maintain some gap here so it's not totally collapsing? And then allowing the hand to come onto the leg to come into the full pose. Taking 2 more breaths here. And coming up tall and just coming to sit with your knees together. Just hugging your knees, trying to keep that spine straight. And allowing yourself to lie back. Letting the legs come out straight, palms facing upwards in Shavasana. As you allow your body to understand that movement, to absorb it, and to get the full benefits of it. Allowing the mat to hold you here as you connect with your breath. Listening to the rhythm, staying with it. And in your own time, just begin to move your fingers and toes. Have a stretch if you want to. And bending those knees, feet on the floor, just roll over onto your side to come up to sitting. I hope you enjoyed that short session and you're feeling rejuvenated and ready to take on the world. Namaste.